Good morning to you. You live in a shoe. I thought today I would do a true day in my life with me on this little vlog. So I have little Pee-Pee right here. Hi, little Pee-Pee. Good morning. Come kiss. They just went outside. Oh, your little paws are so wet. They just went outside, and so I'm giving Pee-Pee his medicine right now. And then I'm going to go upstairs in a second. I've already done my prayers and meditations while they were running around outside. And good boy, good boy. And the back door is open and it is freezing, so I'm going to go close it in just a second. But I have to do this first. Good boy, yes, good boy. Good boy. Swallow it down for me. Oh, okay, you got one more. Good morning to you. Good boy. Good boy, yes. You want a treat? Come on, swallow it. Good boy. Best boy. Best boy. Okay. And then I give them each half of one of these little things. We try not to give them too many treats. Here you go. Here you go, Tucker. Yeah, okay. I'm having coffee with a friend of mine at 1 o'clock, and it is like 12, I don't know, 12 something, 12, I would have to guess, 12:25 right now, so I've got to shake, rattle, and roll. So that I can make it there in time. We're going to this little local coffee shop. Okay, and then the next thing that I do is, last night, I rendered my vlog. So now, I have to go through and check. Okay. All right. And then I'm gonna go upstairs because it got done. So I'm gonna do that before I leave. Put it up on YouTube. Okay. Now I think I'm gonna put my contacts in first and then weigh myself. Okay, dun dun. Where can I put you guys? I don't have like I'm trying to figure out what I can use as a little. There, that's not bad. Okay. So, yeah, and then after I go and have coffee with her, I'm going to come home and take a shower and make some videos. And then I have my meeting tonight. Tanya already texted me today and said, "Are you going tonight?" And I said, "Of course." I'm going to show you what I do when I go to bed at night. So, I've been using this Youth Code by L'Oreal around my eyes. And then I wash my face with typically the Kalamazoo before I go to bed. And then I wash it also with like these Bliss things or the Burt's Bees. And then I do a lip scrub. Last night I did the pumpkin pie. It's right here, lip scrub. Then I always usually use this EOS lip stuff on my lips before I go to bed. And then I do some kind of hydrating face mask. And last night I used the Neutrogena Hydro Boost overnight face mask. You can see I still have some left. And then I also spray some kind of light primer or something on my face afterwards just to make it kind of dewy. And last night, since I got sent this one from Face and this Bath & Body Works one, I use this one and it was really nice. So I'm gonna wash my face in just a second. But before that, I'm gonna do my weigh-in and I've gotta figure out how the hell I'm gonna do this. So, let's see. I can't hold the scale up. So here's my scale right here. I think I'm going to, I don't really know how I'm gonna do this. I think I'll hold it like that. The camera like that, and then do. And then I do some kind of hydrating face mask. And last night I used the Neutrogena Hydro Boost overnight face mask. You can see I still have some left. And then I also spray some kind of light primer or something on my face afterwards just to make it kind of dewy. And last night, since I got sent this one from Face and this Bath & Body Works one, I use this one and it was really nice. So I'm gonna wash my face in just a second. But before that, I'm gonna do my weigh-in and I've gotta figure out how the hell I'm gonna do this. So, let's see. I can't hold the scale up. So here's my scale right here. I think I'm going to, I don't really know how I'm gonna do this. I think I'll hold it like that. The camera like that, and then do. Okay. Getting ready to step on the scale. Did I lose? Did I gain? And my weigh-in for 122 pounds. All right. Let me throw my robe back on. Brr. So, what was that I lost? I'm pretty excited about that. Is my phone up here? I lost some weight this week. I'm very excited. Okay. Okay. I'm like breathing really heavy today. Put in my weight on my Fitness Pal. 222. Okay. So last Tuesday, I weighed in after my cheat day at 230.6 minus 222 equals 8.6 pounds I lost in the last week. Well, that's including that cheat day. So 234.6 minus 222 equals, I've lost a total of 12.6 pounds. So I am right on track of where I want to be. And now I am going to... You guys were like, Pierre, this is the most exciting vlog in the entire world. Well, I told you I live such an exciting life. Like Vanity said, it's a glamorous life. Now, in the mornings, what I usually do is, I usually do a cup of coffee face mask, but I'm completely out. Well, usually every other day, I do a cup of coffee face mask. But I also put this Yes Under Eye Soothing Gel underneath my eyes. Hold on just a second. Make sure I still have time. But since I'm out of the gel, or out of the cup of coffee face mask, and I did it yesterday, I'm not doing it today. Our water is always so cold in the morning. Is yours? I need to do a little bit of laundry today. If I keep the water running, a bunch of people will say something about it. I need to clean this bathroom counter. Now Alex, he is so serious about his teeth, and he uses this Braun Oral-B, and he does like his quadrants and everything. He's tried to get me to use, I have one in the closet that he got me, but I don't use it. By the way, I used this last night. The black chamomile sleep pillow thing. It's so nice. I'm keeping it right here. I remember to do it every night. I have to keep the water running a little bit because it's freezing and I want to wash my face. I wash my face with warm water and then I rinse it with cold water. Good morning, kid. And then I turn it all the way cold and I wash it with really cold water. Woo! Talk about a wake-up call. Now, if I wasn't going to get coffee with a friend of mine, I would make coffee before I left. Even if I was going to Starbucks. But I'm not going to do that this morning. Okay. And I take the Tatcha cream. I mean, sometimes I shave and stuff like that if I have to shave in the morning, but is that my stomach? Or is that downstairs? I think it's downstairs. The dogs. When you don't even know your own stomach anymore. Okay, and then I use this Belief cream that was like a sample from Sephora and I'm almost out of it. Look at that. Look, I don't even know if I'm going to have enough to use. I'm not. So I'm just going to use, I could use this new stuff that Elle sent me, the coconut water cream, but I don't want to use it, which is so interesting because I noticed that it was this First Aid Beauty, and Alex has over here that he uses. I think somebody sent this to me actually. It may have been Elle that sent it to me, but I'm just going to use the Mrs. Meyer's face wash or body lotion on my face, which Okay. Now I just have to put on deodorant and cologne, and then I'll be all ready, so I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm almost ready. I just got my vlog from last night uploading onto YouTube, and then I went with just a basic white t-shirt today, and it is Edgar and Ash. You can get it at your Finer Myers, or that's where I got it, and all Pee-Pee's hairs are up here. And then a basic scoop tee, extra large, $16, and I think it was on sale when I got it. I can't remember. One of the things that Alex told me that I could do, since I can't have sweetener anymore, is that I could put a scoop of this protein in my coffee. So I think I'm actually going to take a scoop of that with me. Oh, I need to take my medicine. I'm going to take a scoop of that with me so that when I go through Starbucks after my coffee, I also have black coffee this morning, but so every morning I take the Halo pill and I take my epilepsy medicine, and yeah. Where is like a little container that I can, oh, you know what, I just know we don't have anything like that. What do you think if I carried a little protein in this? What somebody would say? Well, what is that? That's what I'm gonna do. I thought I had like these little containers that were like this big. We basically have, is this one scoop or two? Because if it's two per serving, I literally cannot rate anything anymore. For one scoop. It's for 2 scoops. Well, how big are the scoops? Let's open this and see. I haven't even opened it yet since I bought it. I have to say, my arms are a little sore this morning, folks. Oh, it's a big scoop. Yeah, I don't know that I want that much in my coffee. But he said I could put a little bit in there. Maybe that would, like, sweeten it up. And I could put a little bit in there. I'll make a mess of this if I do it in my car. I'll just, I don't know, get coffee and bring it home and do that. Okay. Here. It is cold outside today. Very cold. I was going to read you part of some of the meditation I read today, but, well, I read more than one, but the one that really meant a lot to me, but I may do it for my Peterisms video, so I don't know that I want to talk about it on here. There you go. Get ready with Peter in the morning. Okay, let's see what the weather's like outside. I said it was cold. It feels like, I would say it was probably, it feels like 35, honestly, but I bet it's probably warmer than that. Special, 33. Generally cloudy. A few flurries are possible. Temps near steady in the low to mid 30s. Tonight, cloudy skies, a few flurries or snow showers possible. Tomorrow, 31. Thursday, 36 with snow showers. Okay, you guys, listen, I'm going to get off here, and, here's my coffee, or my water. My little water thing that I take with me, I'm going to fill up, so I can drink that on the way, because I try to drink water with me in the morning, or drink water in the morning, and, I literally didn't have any water yet this morning. I kind of forgot while I was filming, honestly. So this is the thing I was talking about that I have in my refrigerator. And I just keep it filled at all times. And then it's always just cold water. And then Alex He does not. Oh, we don't. It's not a. Did I say a Brita? It's a. This is the one that we have. That he has. That Brita thing. And then he just fills it because he won't drink tap water, which I think it's just the same thing, honestly. But whatever. Okay. I gotta get my bag. Here's my bag. Make sure my wallet's in there. Yep. Everything. Okay, and I'm ready to go. And then I usually take my little Puma bag, which has all of my everything in it. This is the one spray that I don't love, the Mario Badescu. Now, I know people love this spray. It's just kind of greasy on my face. I don't love it. So anyway, you can, and then I take like a little chapstick. Today I'm going to take the Tatcha gold one with me. Oh my god, it's so fantastic. And then I'm going to take the Buxom Lip Plumper too. And I just put those in the front of my bag. And then I am ready to go. Mailed out all the giveaways. So far, I have to pick the Alien Palette giveaway winner tonight. And yeah. So, okay. I will be back a little bit later. Okay, I gotta hurry. I gotta meet up with my friend. Bye. Hello. Okay. Well, I've gotten a lot done today. I really wanted to get a lot of videos done, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Oh, my coffee was good. Fun. And then I went and I was running some errands and I went and I got a Starbucks. No equal. Are you ready? Do you know where I'm at right now? Do you have any idea? I got my lights fixed. Look, I'm at the AutoZone. So many people had recommended to me to go to AutoZone, and I had brought stuff here before, and they've always been nice, but it depends on how busy they are. And so I came in here. It is so cold, you guys. It says 36 degrees outside, but I mean, literally, we were standing out there, my ears were freezing off. I felt so sorry for this guy. This older gentleman helped me, and he was so nice. And I went in there and I said, I haven't been in here in a while, and I've heard that, like, if I buy a light or whatever, that you guys will replace it. And I said, is that true? And he was like, yeah, it really depends on if we can get in there or not. If we can't, then no, we can't do it. And he said, which car is yours? Let's go look at it. So we came outside, and he was so calm. I mean, I feel like lately I feel like everybody around me is so calm and peaceful. I feel like, I don't know, it's like I've been attracting that energy. He just was so patient and so calm with all this stuff, and poor guy didn't have any gloves on or anything, and I'm just standing there, and he's like, well, test this light and test this light. So my my left hand turn signal and brake light were both out, but he was like, I think your tail lights are out too. And so he's like, that might be electrical and we'll have to fix it. So he replaced that light first to go see if there was anything wrong with it, the right hand side, and there wasn't. And then he replaced the left hand side, and so then now I have a brake light and turn signal on both sides back there. And then he was like, but you have no tail lights. And he's like, I think it might be your fuse. So he was like, get your owner's manual, we'll go back inside. So we went back inside, and he's like looking through the owner's manual. And he was like, I can't figure out what fuse it's like very confusing in the book. And I said, and he goes, let's go outside and let's go look at some of the other lights. So we went outside, and he said, so I was like, when I went out there, like unlocked my car, and he goes, well, your front parking lights just came on. He goes, let me look in the back. So he went to the back, and he said, start your car. And I said, okay. He goes, or do the parking thing. And he goes, and then start your car. And I did it. And he goes, you have tail lights. And I go, I have tail lights? He goes, we were both like real excited about it. And he goes, you have tail lights. You have lights everywhere. Your whole car has lights now. And I was like, aw. So AutoZone, take your car to AutoZone. They were amazing. He was so nice. It literally was like, I just put it in my wallet how much it came to, but I had to buy, he got like this, this lube stuff. Oh, it's on my floor, hold on. He got, it's in my bag. I don't know what it was called, something that they recommend that you put on stuff, but he could hardly get the casings off of things. So it came to $9.61. My 2-pack of light bulbs was $7.49, which he gave me one to keep, and then this like oil lube, bulb grease is what it was called. It was $1.49, and so let me just tell you, $9.61 versus Jiffy Lube would have charged me like $24 a bulb, and so it would have been $50. And I said to him, I said, am I allowed to tip you? Because I was going to tip him like 20 bucks, you know? And he was like, no, we're not allowed to take any tips. And I said, well, can I send you guys like pizzas for lunch one day or something? I said, I really appreciate this. And he was like, no. And he started laughing, and he like pointed to the sign. And he was like, the most that we're allowed to do is if you call the district manager and I said, oh yeah, I have no problem doing that. So I took a picture of the sign, and I said, I'm going to call and tell him how fantastic you were and how nice. He was such a nice guy. He was like, do you ever go down this one street that's like right by here? He's like, do you ever go out here past this point? And I was like, yeah, I am out there all the time vlogging, but I didn't say that. And he goes, I think I was behind you the other night. He goes, because I was behind somebody, and he goes, it was a dark, little small SUV. And he goes, I was thinking to myself, he needs to get that turn signal and brake light fixed. He goes, I think it was you. I thought that was so cute. Anyway. I love to meet nice people. I just do, you know. There are so many just bitter, miserable people out there in the world that, like, when you run across, like, the very calm, peaceful, happy people, I love that, you know. It's just so nice. So now, it is 3:53. I have to pick up Tanya at 7:30. And, it's like doing this, like, focusing thing. I don't know what is going on. So I shut the camera off because I was like trying to move it around. But anyway, so I have to pick up Tanya tonight at like 7:15, 7:20. And a friend of ours is celebrating their sobriety birthday tonight. So we want to get there a little bit early. And yeah, I'm really excited. It'll be a fun night. A little sobriety, a little friendship, a little meeting, all that kind of stuff. It is like one of those, like, you know when you read like Christmas books that take place in like the English countryside, that's what Indiana looks like today. It's like very dismal, very gray. Cold, kind of like, you know, little light flurries, not a lot. If you're standing outside, you can see it, but like if you're driving, it's like you don't really see it. Like I said, I felt so bad for him. It was so cold outside. I mean, his hands had to have been freezing because my hands were freezing. He just was making little jokes and going along. He was so friendly. I love that. When I think about people that, like, you know, I aspire to be like, I don't know why this came out 1 second. Let me turn off. When I think of people that, like, I aspire to be like he's like one of those guys, like, you know, that just, I mean, of course, I only saw him for 10 minutes, but in that 10 minutes, or God, it was probably, I don't know, half an hour actually, but in that half an hour, you know, he just was nice and cheerful, and, you know, I mean, he could have been an ass, you know, when we're given the opportunity to be cheerful and friendly, or there you can kind of see the snow. It's kind of coming down a little bit now. But, or calm and peaceful or agitated, you know. I'm so happy I got it fixed. I don't have to listen to that anymore. And I have lights. And now I know also to go to AutoZone always. It's so funny because like years and years and years ago, this AutoZone that, God, it's been like probably 15 years now, if not more. So that AutoZone that I went to, our friend's girlfriend used to work there, and she could do anything on a car. And Tanya and I would always take our car there, you know, like if we needed something stupid changed or on it or whatever, we needed, you know, her to look at something. She could do anything. And or we call her and she'd be like, just bring it in tomorrow and I'll look at it. I'll come out in the parking lot and look at it. Well, they broke up, and Tanya and I, we're not friends. I mean, we're friends. Nothing happened. This girl moved away. We haven't seen her in forever. But anyway, before that, they broke up, and this other girl moved like to Florida. And we would joke with her, and we would be like, you need to get back together with her because we miss her over at the AutoZone. I wish Donnie was here right now. She'd be laughing so hard thinking about her. Do you remember those blinking belts? Our friend had one, and like she would wear it, and her girlfriends, it said on it, like, you know, do you guys know I'm talking about, those blinking belts that like would go like around, you get them at the mall like in a kiosk, and she had one that said she's with me. It just went around in a circle, so she always made her stand on this side of her because it had like an arrow that pointed that way or something. Oh gosh, it's so funny. I wonder what happened to her. She probably owns her own auto shop now in Florida. She's making $1 million a year living on the beach or something, you know. She's not concerned about that belt anymore. Oh. I have to say that black iced coffee, once I start drinking a little bit, isn't horrible. It's not my favorite, like I said, but can I get used to it? Definitely. I mean, it's not that bad at all. I listened to quite a bit of Harry Potter last night. But like now, it's kind of like, the stuff that's happening, I feel like some of it, like, well, some of it's not predictable, but some of it is predictable. And maybe that's just the age, you know, range of the books or something like that, but like, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but as nobody, like, okay. Like, I knew somehow Harry was going to be into this competition for the Goblet of Fire. I'm like, I'm way past that now, but I knew that's what this book was going to be about. Like, when they started talking about that, I was like, well, somehow Harry, even though he's underage, will get picked for this thing. And, of course, that's what happened, so. But don't tell me and don't ruin it for me, because I'm really starting to like it. See, I always get to kind of towards the end of the Harry Potter books, and that's when I, like, really start getting into it. Like, I really start liking them. What's interesting to me about the snow here in Indianapolis this time is that, like, it really hasn't snowed a whole lot, but there's, like, on the roofs of, like, houses and businesses, it's like the snow is staying. Boo Radley loves the snow. He loves to run outside in the snow, and he just, like, hops, 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 hops like a bunny rabbit. Pee-Pee and Tucker, they don't like the snow so much. Oh, Tucker was such a sweet little baby of mine last night. Oh my God, let me just tell you. So I tried to watch the ending of Santa Paws, or whatever the one I was watching the other night was. I can't remember what it was called, but anyway, the one about the toy store. Netflix took it off. I'm like, what is going on? I went on there to go watch it last night, and it said you cannot watch this in your area or something like that. I was like, what happened? I'm so confused by what happened here. So apparently it's been taken off there now, and I mean, you can still see it. It just doesn't have a play thing for me. Like, I can't play it. I was like, oh my God, I was like half an hour into this movie. I want to know what happens now. I'm sure it'll be on TV at some point. So instead I watched like 15 minutes of Mickey Mouse, or Twice Upon a Christmas or something it was called. The first part of it was Minnie Mouse and Daffy Duck, and they were like in this skating competition. Have you guys seen this? I'm like sitting there like this in bed. Like, I'm just enraptured by this thing, right? That's this, you know, is it Daphne Duck? Is that her name? Daphne Duck and Minnie Mouse, and they're just like in this skating competition. They're like skating off of hippopotamuses and alligators and all this kind of stuff. It's crazy. Okay, well listen, I need to call a friend of mine, so I'm gonna get off here and call my friend. And yeah, I will be back in a little while. Bye. Hello. How are you guys doing? I just got up from a little, should I call it a nap? It's not a nap. It is 1:30 in the morning. I'm getting ready to listen to my audiobook after I get done, what do you call it? After I get done vlogging. I came home from the meeting. Tanya and I didn't really drive around a whole lot tonight. I took her to go get a fountain pop, and I got a bottle of water. And I just brought, I totally forgot that I had the bottle in my car, and I brought this bottle of water to vlog, or this, what do you call it, cup of water to vlog. But, and Alex and I sat there and talked for a little bit, and just kind of caught up on our day, and my eyes were so tired, I don't know why, and sometimes in the winter my contacts get like real dry, and like Tanya and I were talking about that on the way home. I said, my eyes are so tired tonight. She said, my eyes are tired too. So, yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna lay down for a little bit. And he goes, well, I think I'm gonna come upstairs too and go to bed. So we both laid down with the pups and stuff, and I totally crashed out. I'm gonna put a t-shirt on my merch shop that says, I totally crashed out. Anyway, it's been a really good day. It's been a really good day. And my meeting tonight was so fantastic, and we split off into little groups, and the group that I was in was like all people that like have been coming to that meeting. It was like, our group was really small. There was 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There was 8 of us in there. Or am I counting myself? Yeah, there were 7 of us in the group. So it was really a small group, and it was really nice. And it was all people that, it was like 2 guys in there that have like 35 years, and then Tanya and I, which Tanya and I are almost a year apart in sobriety time. She'll have 23 years in February, and I'm almost at 24, and then a friend of ours that has 2 years, and then somebody else that has like 5 years, and then somebody that we've known that's kind of gone back in and out. It was such a great meeting tonight in there, and I actually brought up the topic, and I talked about the 11th step, which is about prayer and meditation, and the 11th step prayer is a lot about pausing, you know. And, you know, I've talked a lot about my pause button. And so I was sharing, like, the meditation that I had read from Melody Beatty about this whole idea of not reacting at all. And, you know, it's so weird how my life works. Like, I feel like there's the preparation for the lesson, and then there's the lesson, and then there's the understanding of the lesson, and then there's the application of the lesson. Does that make sense? Like, there's the preparation, which is like in my like life lesson, you know, that I learned. It's like the getting ready for it. And then there's like the actual lesson that happens, and there's the after lesson, which is like reflecting upon it. And then there's the application of like putting it into my life. And I feel like just recently, like the application part of several of my lessons has come to play, where I'm starting to really apply some of the lessons that I've learned, and it's bringing about just kind of such utter peace and serenity. Like, for example, I think that one of the things I've really struggled with in the last year of being on YouTube is this idea that people think I'm a liar. And like, I get on video and I specifically say certain things, you know, a certain way, like, which is so absurd to me, because I like literally am just like this guy that lives the Midwest, you know, with my dogs, and does face masks, and hangs out with my best friend, and goes out to dinner with my husband, and hangs out with our family. I mean, it's just like I live such a simple life. The fact that, like, I'm sitting there and I'm concocting all of this stuff, and then when I show that, like on my vlog, not for a half an hour, not for 10 minutes, not for 45 minutes, I probably show more of my life than I would say 95% of the YouTubers out there. People say, well, I'm scripting it. So, you know, to some degree, it's kind of really bothered me. I think because like, honesty is so important to me in my sobriety, and that principle of honesty is important to me. And so it was interesting because yesterday I did this video, right? And it was a rant video on my main channel, and in the video, so for any of those out there that are confused, because I'm not saying this like in a mean way, I know there's a lot of people out there that really do get kind of confused by the rant videos, and they're like, why are you so heated? Okay, the heatedness of my rant videos is, it's supposed to be humor, and I know that people get it, because there's I would say the majority of the people that watch the videos, the rant videos, are like, this is hilarious, right? And so I did this rant video about people using my pictures and whatever. Yes, there's some truth to the humor of the story, right? But like, at the same time, it really doesn't bother me, because it's like, it happens so often, there's not really a whole lot that I can do about it. So at one point, I said in there, like, if you're gonna use my pictures to catfish women who are probably sending you, what, I don't know, checks of $1,000, like, could you at least send me a cut? Okay, so going forward, let's just think about that. Let's think about how serious I probably was with that. Probably not very serious, right? That I actually expect somebody to send me a cut for using my pictures to catfish somebody. And then I said, I don't know, what is my part worth on a $1,000 payment, you know? $20? I mean, they're my pictures. If I was being serious, wouldn't I say don't use my pictures? Or if you're gonna use them, I think I deserve to make 80% of that. Okay, but I didn't say that. I said, what is that? What's my part worth? $20? Gift card to McDonald's, which obviously that's a joke. And then I said, I enjoy a Big Mac every once in a while. Okay. So when I film my videos, I literally am just like, I wake up today, right, to all of these DMs about people questioning my vegetarianism over the fact that I said that in a video. So I go to this thread, right, where they're talking about it, and I, like, literally lost my shit laughing. Like, people are like, oh, I clocked him a long time ago. He goes to Bob Evans, and he has sausage, biscuits, and gravy. Really? Is there sausage in it? Okay, first of all, I have not been to Bob Evans since since I became a vegetarian. And if I have, which I almost, like I said yesterday in my video, I almost, like, 100% believe I have not walked in the doors of Bob Evans since I did that. Did I do that before going to Bob Evans? Absolutely. I talked about sausage, biscuits, and gravy all the time on my channel. That's why people associate it with me. He's a liar. He lies about everything. I think he just tells people what he wants to hear. And I don't know what happened to me, like, in that moment, but, like, I got laughing so hard. First of all, my immediate response to that was, how pathetic is it that there are so many people out there that are on this hate train of Peter Monn that really will believe anything at this point, you know? And it's like, I just was like, I don't know, like, in that moment, I just was like, I really don't care anymore. Like, I really don't care anymore if people believe me or not. Like, it was totally freeing. I was like, I really don't care. Like, I don't care at all. And that, I think, was kind of like, let me say, the after lesson into the application, if that makes sense. because I just, like, in that moment felt so peaceful. I just was like, this is so ridiculous to me at this point that literally, like, people are looking for every little thing on me that they think that I'm lying about, you know? And I'm like, well, people are going to believe what they want to believe, and I, you know, those that want to watch me should watch me, and those that want to think that I'm the whatever, you know, liar of the world, they're gonna think that, and I guess I really don't care that much anymore. And there was a lot of, like, freedom in that for me, and it really cracks me up, honestly. I mean, there are, like, some people out there, and, like, whenever I say anything about it, people are always like, yes, but you make, like, 10 videos about people. I make videos about people when stuff about those people comes up. I'm not going to say that I don't. But I think it's pretty obvious there are some people out there that really don't like me, you know? And that's okay. Not everybody's going to like me. You know what I mean? So, like, I think that's where you have to really, like, work through the lessons in your life. Because it really did bother me for a while. I was like, you know, I would say this or I would say that. And it was like, you know, this whole question about my career and, oh, well, I was never a counselor and, you know, oh, you were never a psychotherapist. Well, psychotherapist is a term that is also used for counselor. You can Google that. And yes, I did work for an organization for 13 years. I think that's been proven. And there's actual videos from clients of mine when I worked in treatment that have said that I was their counselors. And long before any of this came out, you know. And I'm like, do people really believe that an organization that is, like, JACO approved and all this kind of stuff wouldn't, like this is why it's ridiculous to me, right? Like, I came so close recently to making a video of, like, just of my career, and I may do that at some point. Like I said, I haven't ruled out that I'm not going to do that, but it's so ridiculous to me that it's like, you know, when I look back on my life and I think about, like, having worked in treatment and having, like, you know, started there as a tech and then, like, moving up and becoming, like, a supervisor of the techs and then becoming a counselor in training while I was getting my master's degree in social work, which I did, and I have the degree sitting in my garage, and I've shown my degree in many videos, and then people are like, well, he doesn't even have a degree, and I'm like, well, you'll show all this negative stuff about me, but at the same time, like, it would have easily, you could have easily just gone and found the footage where I show my actual degree, you know, and because I've shown that, and then I'm like, and then I think about the times that all the family groups I ran and all the assessments that I did for the Department of Corrections, and I think about all this kind of stuff, and then people are like, well, you were never really a counselor. And I'm like, it's just so crazy to me, you know, like, it's just absolutely crazy to me. And where, like, I would say 2 months ago, like, it really bothered me, at this point, I'm kind of like, I don't really care if people believe me or not. I mean, I really don't, you know? And it's not my job to prove my life to somebody else just because other people want to come out and say that it's not true or something. Like, it just kind of, I don't know, like, it kind of, to be honest with you at this point, like, it cracks me up, honestly. It's like, so I'm kind of going to just talk about what I want to talk about, and if people believe me, they believe me, and if they don't, they don't. I don't really care anymore. You know, when I was thinking about doing this video, I was like, so if I get on video, you know, and I show the truth, Do you think I'll get a lot of people that will say, like, I'm really sorry I didn't believe you, or, oh my God, you were right, and this person was wrong, and oh my God, I'm so sorry. You think people are gonna say that to me? All the people that have said to me, you're a liar, you were never a counselor, oh my God, you're a fraud, all this kind of stuff? No. And so anytime somebody wants to get on there and say that I'm lying about something, I have to defend myself to that lie. Anytime somebody wants to say, well, Peter's not really a vegetarian, you know, whatever. I saw him at the meat buffet. I have to get on video and I have to, how? You know, like what? I'm not doing it. I'm just not, you know? I'm just not willing to do that. And if people want to believe what they want to believe, hey, more power to them, you know, at this point. And the only reason that, like, I kind of hold off and, like, I say, like, I might make the video about my career is because I worked very hard on my career. You know, it was something that was extremely important to me. And if you've heard me talk about my career in here, you know it was extremely important to me. But I'm not there today. I just don't care enough about it. But yeah, I am a vegetarian, and I have been, and I'm going to continue to talk about it because it's part of who I am. It's part of my life right now, you know. The struggles of it, I'll talk about all of it. So anyway, but I think that's like how the lessons, like the application happens. It's like one day it's like kind of like you just like get it, if that makes sense. And I mean, think about how calculated this is. I just want to put this in perspective. So, I mean, how much time have I talked about on this channel being a vegetarian, okay? Then on top of that, I've shown all the food that I bought, which I've spent tons of money, because buying all that Morningstar shit is not cheap. I've talked about struggling to go out to restaurants. Tanya's talked about it on here. Alex has talked about it with me on my channel. So, let's just think about this, right? I would have to get the people in my life, okay? I would have to have all of them be as sneaky snakes as me to lie on camera about being a vegetarian. And then I would buy all this food that I'm not really eating to just put out what? So that some people out there think that I'm a vegetarian and believe that with me. It's like, for what reason? If I tomorrow said that I wasn't a vegetarian anymore, I decided that I wasn't going to be a vegetarian anymore, it would not greatly affect any of my channels. Let's just be for real, okay? It just wouldn't. Do I think that a few people would be like, yeah, like, that's part of why I followed you, and I don't want to follow you anymore? I think maybe a few, but do I think that it would greatly? No. So what's my gain in doing that? What's really interesting that people don't think about is that when they come up with these kind of conspiracy theories, it really says more about them than it does about me, honestly. And, so, it just really is not that deep. Nothing about my life is really that deep, honestly. I sometimes wish it was. I sometimes wish my life was a little bit more exciting. I guess what kills me about it too is that, like, you know, knowing so many YouTubers who literally get on camera, and I know because I've talked to them, and lie. Like, they show cars that they don't really own, or, you know, like, they will, you know, like, tell story times that aren't, like, never have happened to them. And I'll be like I was just watching, like, Alex James the other day, and he did this video. Alex James started on Vine, right? And he did this video, and it was called Lies I've Told on YouTube. And he went in there, and he's like, well, it really did happen, but it didn't happen with so-and-so. It happened with the Gabby show, and I just told my friend, like, that she just needed to go along with it. I was like, yeah, that was a straight-up lie. Like, you totally, that was a lie. It never happened, right? Not with that person. And then he's like, another lie he told was this, and I'm like, and then, like, he and his boyfriend, like, they told some story, but they had already broken up. I'm like, yeah, like, it was a total lie, like, completely. And I like looked at like the ratios of likes to dislike, and nobody cared. And I was like, this is crazy to me, you know? But it hasn't been any surprise to me that I've been held to a different standard than others. So I don't know. I guess all of it kind of cracks me up. Where is the honking coming from? Did you hear that? That was so weird. So it was kind of peaceful, and but anyway, I was talking in the meeting tonight about like the pause button and how much I practice the pause button and how powerful the pause button is for me. And you know, just like when I'm like in traffic or something happens and I'm like, pause, don't react, don't respond, just pause for a moment and think about your reaction. And I've really done that recently. It's like restraint of pen and tongue, you know? I don't have to say anything, I don't have to do anything. And I was talking about the Melody Beatty meditation that I read that talked about, you know, the idea of not reacting, which is so powerful. You know, this has been like, for me, I mean, let's just be for real. There's been some shit that has happened this year, you know, in my life. And not just on YouTube, I mean, my personal life, my God, you know, like, I lost my uncle this year, you know, like, I literally, other than my cousin Caroline, I have no family left on my mother's side of the family. It's gone, you know, it's hard, and it's just been a tough year. There's been a lot of stuff, you know, and I think, like, this has been a really great year of growth for me. Like, I've really learned so much about myself, and I've really reflected so much on myself and who I am and who I was and who I want to be going forward. And it's kind of been a year of, I would say, spiritual freedom to some degree, you know? Like that freedom that I was talking about earlier, when it's just like, it's been nice, you know? It's been like, it's been peaceful. It's been so peaceful. Because like in my life before, when I have been like on the precipice of like change, like a transitional shift in my life, so to speak, I can always kind of feel it before it happens. And I've felt like that recently, I would say for a couple weeks now. And it usually, I would say, comes with like kind of like this calm, you know? And I have really felt that way recently, like a really good shift, a really good transition is about to happen. And, you know, I was talking like kind of at length in my vlog yesterday about the idea of, it stopped. The idea that, shoot, it's stopping. Made me forget what I was gonna say. Darn it. I literally had it right here. I was talking in my vlog yesterday about the idea of, shoot. Wiggle your toes, Peter, and he'll come back to you. I was talking about change. I was talking about transitions. I don't know. I lost it. Anyway, I feel like, to some degree, like I'm, like this whole idea of listening to God or versus like talking to God, I feel like I'm kind of like know, being prepared for something good, like something different. I read this book, and years ago, I think it was called Transitions, actually. My mom had it, and it talked about how you go through major transitions in your life, like every 8 to 10, 8 to 11 years, something like that. And I'm like in that time period, you know, and it's like, oh, I think I was thinking about, talking about, you know, like when I would go to school, and like at first I was scared, like when I was growing up, because like I didn't know what the first day of school would be like. But then as I got older, like in college, I would like look forward to that. And that's really how I look at my days today, you know? I look at like, well, like what does the world hold for me today? Like, what exciting is gonna happen today? And, which is a really fun way to look at the world. And when you're open to that, then it's like, like opportunity meets desire and things like that. And, it's interesting how like much of me being on this like weight loss journey has really like prompted other changes in my life right now, I would say, of other things that I want to do. And it's like been liberating for me to some degree, because now I see myself like I finally can see myself in a smaller body, in a more like a body that I'm more proud of, and comfortable to go out and do things, comfortable to travel more, things like that. And I think with that process will come a lot of cathartic change in my life, as well as a lot of new opportunities, because I think I'll be more open to doing things that I wouldn't have been open to doing before, if that makes sense, you know? And speaking of which, it's interesting because I said in my video yesterday, I said, oh my God, I said, you know, like I'm getting all these opinions from family members, my husband, Tanya, all of my friends in my life, and then I get on YouTube and it's like everybody else has like all these opinions about what I should be doing. You know, you should do this, no, you should do that, no, you should do this, who told you that, you shouldn't do that, you should do this. And it's like all of these like messages coming to me, and I'm like sometimes like, okay, I don't know what to do with all of this, right? Because I take it all in, and I am somebody that is, oh wait, what did I just do? Okay, I am somebody that very much loves suggestions from people, right? And what's worked for them, and personal stories like are so powerful for me. So when somebody says, hey, listen, like I cut out sugar completely and it really helped me, or hey, I did this, or I did that, or whatever. Oh my God, it just got so hot in this car. Okay. So it's like, but woo, there were a lot of opposing opinions last night on the vlog. And I love it. I love that people are having a conversation about it, you know, like it's great. And I will tell you that my attitude is that I tend to be somebody that the reason why previous to my final treatment that I went into and getting sober never worked with me staying sober before was because I would typically go to the suggestion that I wanted to hear, not the suggestion that would actually work for me, if that makes sense, and stick to something consistently. And I'm very much a believer that if you stick to any one kind of lifestyle change or diet or whatever, it will work, right? The healthier, the better. And so, like for example, when I was getting sober, you know, like if I was like sitting in a meeting and like, this is like before I got sober the last time, but you know, if I had like, cause you know, I went to treatment, you know, 4 times previous to my last time, and I'd be sitting there and somebody would say, well, like, you know, the marijuana maintenance program really works for me. And I'd be like, the marijuana maintenance program, I can smoke pot and be successful. And then I go and talk to that person afterwards and they'd be like, listen, don't listen to what everybody's telling you. Your problem is drinking and cocaine. Just don't do drinking and cocaine, but you can smoke pot. And like, I would hear that, right? And I would be like, oh, well, like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And then smoking pot would get me right back to where I was again, you know? Or somebody would say, well, pills are prescribed, so as long as you're taking prescribed pills, and then I would, you know, whatever, get prescribed pills somehow, and then I would like justify it in my head, you know what I mean? And so it's like the diet stuff, I have to be careful, is very much the same way for me. And so if somebody says to me, you know, don't listen to what everybody's telling you, you need to be on an all-carb diet, okay, which I would absolutely love. Like, if there ever comes out that there is an all-carb diet, is there an all-carb diet that, like, is healthy, where you can eat as much pasta, bread, and cookies, and everything else? And listen, I'm all there, okay? But let's just say if somebody said that, I would, like, for me, like, if I really believed that would work, I would justify that in my head, and I would be like, okay, like, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna do this all-carb diet. Can you even imagine? I literally would eat piles of pasta every night. Oh my God, I would love that. So, when I went in and I like got this personal trainer, which if you watch my vlogs consistently, you know that was difficult for me anyway. It was something I had never done before. I just did it on a whim that day, right? Which is something that I'm really trying. I'm trying to take risks every day, healthy risks in my life. And so I just went into the gym that day. I just got a new gym membership. I showed it all on here, so, you know, and then, like, I signed up to get this personal trainer. I said I was going to go to one session, and then we would see after that, and then I went to the one session, and then after that, I've kept up with it. Like, I'm really proud of the fact that I have kept up with it this long, honest to God, okay? And I know that I'm not going to back out of it now because I signed up for it for a year, so I will continue with it. Like, this week, like, I think I said it on here, I really didn't want to go on Monday. I was tired. Like, he could even tell. He was like, I can tell you don't want to be here today. Like, and I'm not, like, super defensive of him, but all these people are like, well, no, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but a couple people, and I know you guys didn't mean anything mean by it, but they're like, I know you guys were just kind of like, hey, like, I feel for you, he sounds like an ass. But a couple people said that he sounded like an ass, or he sounded like he was being mean, or whatever. Honest to God, and I'm not defending him, he is, like, one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my entire life. I mean, like, if you talk to, like, everything he says, he's, like, super sweet about it, right? Direct, I would say he's direct. He's very much a coach. Like, let's get the results that we want to get. He's very much that way. And honestly, that's exactly what I need, you know? Like, I've always, like, had sponsors, thank God, that told me what I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear. They didn't, you know, skirt around the issue. Like, they would be like, come on, like, this is what you need to do, you know, like, let's take a look at this, you need to call this person and make an amends, you know, come on, let's get on this, you know. I've never, like, I've worked very well with people that were just very direct with me, in that way, so to speak. People that I've invited into my life, okay, not just random people out there on the street that are like, hey, you need to do this. People that I've invited into my life to be there as mentors to me and coaches, sponsors. Like, I've done very, very well with that. Like, in fact, like, when we went to go start seeing our counselor, one of the reasons, like, okay, I was messing with the camera. One of the reasons, I think, why counseling has been so effective for us, and, you know, I've gone to counseling previously in my life, and it was okay at times, but then it would kind of always dwindle off. And I think, like, for me, like, let's say if I was having a day where, like, I really was, like, not feeling it. Like, I was just down in the dumps, and I wouldn't necessarily go in to a counselor's office and be honest and say, like, I'm really, like, not in a great space today, you know? Or, like, I'm really having issues with this, or I'm really having issues with that. Like, I would talk about stuff, but, like, I really struggled with that, you know? And this time, when we went to go, well, we haven't been to a counselor together, obviously, previously, but when we went, my attitude was, if I'm gonna go, like, I'm gonna put it all in. If I'm gonna get everything out of it that I possibly can, I have to put everything into it that I possibly can. Well, that's very similar to my sobriety. It's very similar to the way that I'm going into this whole thing with the healthy living as well. So, I appreciate all your feedback. I really, really do. But I'm gonna be sticking to what my trainer tells me, because I think I just need to, like, not that I'm not going to listen to people's suggestions and take them in. I do, like I said, I listen to them, but for me, consistency, and I would say a cohesiveness in what somebody's telling me, because let's just be for real, the number one way that I'm going to be unsuccessful is if every week I change what I'm doing. You know, if one week I do this, and then the next week I change it, and the next week I change that, and the next week, I mean, I'm not going to be successful if I do that. But if I consistently do what he tells me to do, which is what he's trained to do, you know, I probably will have a pretty high success rate over time, I would think, you know? I hope. But thank you for your comments, and I want you to know I do read them, and I do take them into consideration. They mean a lot to me. And really, I think the reason why they mean a lot to me is because they're really personal stories that you guys are sharing with me. And it means so much to me that you guys are willing to share stories and things that have worked for you. You know, the other thing is that my trainer is somebody that when he was growing up and in high school was extremely heavy, and he lost a lot of weight working out and changing his diet. And in fact, that's why he was interested in going into this to begin with. And I think I said that on here. And anytime somebody has a personal story, it's very much like recovery. Anytime somebody has a personal story that's related to why they do something that they do, just like me having been a counselor, and I did it because I became a counselor because I had, you know, been an addict, or I was an addict and an alcoholic, and I wanted to give back. Like, anytime I hear somebody like my trainer having a personal story like that, I don't know, like I'm even more moved or more willing to listen to what they have to say because they've been personally impacted by it. When you guys share a sentence or a paragraph or several paragraphs in the comment sections, sharing your personal experiences of what worked for you, they impact me, okay? Just because they don't align with what I'm doing, I don't want you to be offended that I'm not taking your advice because I'm choosing to stay, like, listening to what one person is telling me right now. But I'm really impacted by your stories. They mean a lot to me. They really, really do. I can't thank you guys enough, honestly, for the interaction. Like I said, like in the last year, like this channel has just been such a heartstone for me. I love this channel, you know? I mean, let's just be for real. My Peter Monn channel is... I mean, it's very much like, you know, like somebody yesterday said something on there, like, about the rant that I did, and somebody was, like, really upset about how heated I got. They're like, I never see you get this heated, and you always say that you know, like, preach, like, peace and serenity and stuff, which, if you watch the video, it's not peaceful and serene. And somebody responded and said, you do realize that to some degree this is a persona. Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. Who I am on the Peter Monn channel is a heightened version. I mean, I am not like that in real life. I don't sit around flipping fans. You know, I don't get all hyped up. I don't really get all agitated about a palette. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't care that deep about some of that stuff. It's interesting to me from a pop culture point of view, but especially in the rant videos. Like, have I been that heated before in my life? Oh my Lord, absolutely, you know? But it's really, the rants are somewhat meant to show, like, how we can, all of us out there, it's supposed to be, like, representative, the humor of how we all get heated or enraged about just everyday shit, right? So yes, the Peter Monn channel is very much a persona of who I am. You know, it's just not a direct reflection. This channel is a direct reflection of who I am. I mean, this is who I am. It's me driving around in a car, talking in my house, hanging out with my dogs, this is who I am. And I love that, you know? If you had asked me 5-6 years ago, if you were gonna be on YouTube, what do you wanna do? This is what I would have imagined. And BookTube, oh my God, like I posted a BookTube video today and I didn't even realize I hadn't posted a video over there since the 18th. Now I thought it had been like around Thanksgiving, but I didn't realize it had been that long over there. And I was posting over there every day, and I've had like videos that I wanted to post and I just haven't made them because it started to get darker and darker and darker. I gotta get that set up. I gotta get ready and be making videos earlier in the day because by 5 o'clock it's pitch black in Indianapolis now. So I can't film as late as I could film before, which is why, like, every day I'm not getting all 5 videos up. But if I got up and I was like set up and ready to film by noon or something, it has been snowing all evening. It's really pretty outside, but it's really snowing right now. But if I got the setup by like noon, I could like get all them videos go, I get all their videos going. You know what I mean? And so anyway, and I love the Peterisms channel, you know, like, it's interesting to me. Somebody said on the vlog that you can get this at it's called Academy of Color is what this is called, and then you can get it at Kohl's. So if you want to get this, it's Silky Lips and Academy of Color, and you can get it at Kohl's. It's fantastic. I love it. I will say it doesn't stay on your lips for very long. You have to kind of reapply it every once in a while, but it's really nice. It's not like greasy, it's like matte. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. It's silky. But anyway, one of the things that's interesting is, I would have to say, like, the common theme, overwhelming theme, which is interesting because it's probably the channel that gets the least amount of views next to my BookTube videos. But I mean, like, BookTube has never gotten a lot of views. I don't care. I love when people are like, oh my god, you're all in it for the views and this. I'm like, do you realize I have like several channels that really don't get views at all and I still post over there? Like, I do it because I love it, right? It has nothing to do with all of that. So anyway, just another one of those things. Believe what you're gonna believe, I guess, you know? When I'm doing a book review and I'm getting 300, 200 maybe views on it, I'm doing it for the views, you know? Believe what you gotta believe. But anyway, one of the overwhelming, like, consistent responses that I get that's so interesting to me is that I get such a overwhelming positive response about the Peterisms channel. And people will say to me, I mean, like, literally there's not a day that goes by that I don't get a tweet from somebody saying, like, that Peterisms channel literally changed my life. Like, I talk to people about it all the time. I tell them about it. I share your videos on Facebook. Or, you know, my family member was going through a really tough time. You know, she watched your videos and it, like, really changed her perspective. Thank you so much for your Peterisms channel. Don't ever stop posting on Peterisms. Like, that channel is my favorite out of all of your, which is interesting to me. Like, and the reason why I'm talking about the views is because, like, when you look at it, it's like, it's one of them that I'm not getting that many views on, you know what I mean? So it's interesting. I just have to show you guys this really quick. Isn't this so pretty? Can you even see it? So anyway, but it's not a channel that gets a lot of views, so for me to get like that many comments on that, Peter, it makes me feel very happy because I love that channel. I really do. I really, really love it. I actually filmed a video for that today, and it didn't get up in time, let's just put it that way. I was done with the meeting, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't posted that video yet, and I was like, I'm just going to save it, or we'll save it, we'll archive it for another day. It's too late at this point. But, it's like really coming down. Snow day tomorrow? Doubtful. And the review channel is fun, but because it's the newest of my channels, like, honestly, it's kind of the channel that, like, waits till the end. Like, if I get everything else filmed, that's the one. I don't know, like, I do have better time management with the filming of my days. 5 videos a day, though, is, like, a lot. I don't know why 4 videos didn't seem like a lot. The review channel, like, I really like to set those up, and, like, I really like to set those up and kind of, like, do them, you know, somewhere different, or, like, really think them out. I know you guys are like, Cracker Jacks. I know, like, that one, no, not so much. But, like, for example, like, with the cheesecake. So, like, that wasn't a video that took me 15 minutes to film. Like, I had to, like, load the car up. I had to go buy the cheesecake. Well, I got the cheesecakes the night before. But I had to, like, take the cheesecakes out there. I had to go find the place to sit. I had to find a place where there wasn't a lot of parking. It's so funny because people think that I'm, like, literally on the side of the road. And I'm not in that video. It's like, I mean, I'm on the side of a road, but it's like you turn into this, like, nature reservation, preservation, I don't know. But anyway, you turn in there, and so it's like this little street that goes back, like into this park. Like, it's not like there are cars coming up and down. But there were that day, which was so, like, I never see cars down there. And what I, like, never see people, I've never seen anybody turn in there, go down there, or anything. And that day, there were people coming in and out. It was so funny. I was like, why today when I'm choosing to film this? But anyway, I just feel so blessed to be able to do YouTube. I love it, and I just want to thank you guys so much for allowing me to do it and watching my videos. And I feel like some of you have gotten to know personally. I don't think you really have any idea, like, how much it means to me. Honestly, I really don't think you do. And so yeah, I appreciate it. And I'm excited for what's to come in 2019. I don't really know what that is, but probably a whole lot more of the same. And, you know, like I was thinking the other day, well, maybe I was not thinking about stopping the vlog. But I was like, you know what? I can't believe I'm going on my 3rd year of vlogging every day. Like, it's crazy. Like, every day I have vlogged, you know? So, my brother-in-law comes in tomorrow. He flies in, he gets here at like 4:30 in the afternoon. And then I think we're doing like a family dinner or something. I don't know. Alex said he would let me know tomorrow. He doesn't. They kind of plan things last minute. He goes, could you just be available like around 6-ish? And I go, yeah, sure. I said, I'll get everything done that I need to get done, and I'll be ready by 6 to go wherever. So just let me know. I'm really excited to see him. I haven't seen him for a year. God, I almost got kind of emotional thinking about him. I don't know why. It's like, you know, like I didn't grow up having any siblings, and I love being an only child. I really do. There's a lot of positives about it, but at the same time, it's lonely. And you know, I can remember like calling people up and being like, hey, can you come over and play? And their moms would be like, not today, you know. Johnny's just gonna stay at home today. And I'd say, okay, thank you. And then my mom would look at me and she'd be like, is Johnny wanna come over and play? And I'd be like, his mom said that he needs to stay home today. And she'd say, well, we could play a game, honey. And of course I would, but like, you know, I mean, I wanted to play with my friends. I didn't want to play with my mom every day, you know what I mean? That was when I was like much younger, but I can remember sometimes calling 3 and 4 people. And then I look back and I wonder if maybe they really just didn't want to play with me. I don't know. That really has nothing to do with what I was going to say, which was I had no siblings growing up. And so now the fact that I have 2 brothers and a sister-in-law, you know, is like just fantastic to me. And Carlos and Fufu really treat me like a brother. Like they really, really do. And I love it. It's so cool. It's so fun, you know. And Liliana and I are very close. She has really no other, you know, extended family here, and I just have Caroline. So I think Liliana and I relate a lot to each other on that level. And I love her so much. My mother-in-law is fantastic, and the cousins. I mean, it's just, I love being part of a big, huge family. It's so nice, you know? And it was uncomfortable for me at first, you know? It was hard for me at first to, like, be comfortable around all of that. I just wasn't. I was not comfortable around all of that because I didn't grow up. You know, like with a big family. And like even when I was older, it was my mom and me and said boyfriend of the moment, and then Caroline and Aunt Kathy, Uncle Dave, and if Caroline had a boyfriend, and that was it. I mean, that literally was it. And you know, like when we were younger, Caroline and I used to joke because my Aunt Kathy would always bring like some like elderly person home that she knew from some organization that had nobody to spend the holidays with. So we always had like, you know, special guest with us. That would be a hilarious video for Caroline and I to do, to talk about all those, because some of them were just true bitches, you know. They weren't very nice old ladies. They were kind of cruel. And God, this one named Jane. Oh, Jane! Just like my videos, Jane. I know her last name too, so in my head I was saying her last name. And she used to work with my aunt. That's so funny. My God, Jane and Vivian, no.
And then there was another one. I mean, these women have been dead for, I mean, years. Like, God, what, 30 years at this point now. And then Hazel. And Hazel was real sweet. And she crocheted all this stuff. And she would, like, crochet my mom and I. Like, my mom and I would go over to her house and she would make us tea. And we would sit around there. Like, my mom loved her, too. And she was real old schooly. And she just constantly crocheted, right? And, I mean, crochet's nice. Crochet's pretty. But, like, you know, once you have, like, I don't know, 8 Afghans and 15 pillows and, I mean, doilies, and how much do you need, you know what I mean? And, I look back on some of the things my mother said, and I just wonder sometimes, like, how hungover she was, honestly. And, we, like, went over to Hazel's after, we would go after her, to her house sometimes after church, because she, like, lived on the way home from our church. It's funny, she used to live in these apartments that are still there, and it's like this apartment building in Broad Ripple. And, it felt, I can remember it felt weird, because it was like this high-rise apartment, but it wasn't a high-rise building. It was like, it's like, I don't know, 8-story building, or I'll show you guys sometime. But anyway, Hazel was super sweet, and, she would tell us all these stories from back in the day, and she'd always just sit there and crochet, and then she'd be like, well, I made you guys some things, and she would wrap them in, like, this brown paper, and it would be like a pillow, and it would be like orange and brown, you know, crocheted pillow. And then, like, I actually have some of these things in my house. I have this blanket that she crocheted. It's like green and white, and it's legit like Alex's favorite blanket that we own. But I remember we got to our car, and my mother, she must have been like, she just must have been hungover or something, I don't know, because my mother just wasn't this person. And we got in the car, and she took that pillow and she just tossed it right in the back seat. She goes, like, we need one more crocheted pillow, Hazel. Thank you very much. Oh, Mom. They're probably hanging out in heaven, crocheting together. I always wanted to learn how to crochet. I always wanted to learn how to knit, too. I had a friend of mine, she taught me, and, like, she taught me on pencils, like, at school. And, I had it down for a little bit. Some of that shit's, like, real intricate to me. I know you guys, like, probably think I'm a fool for saying that, but, like, some of it's really tough. Some of that stuff is harder than it looks. I did a few latch hooks in my time, too. I always wanted to do a craft, like, when I was growing up. Like, I wanted to do something crafty, but I wasn't any good at it. Like, I was never any good at, like, the crafts and all that kind of stuff. Have I told the art school stories on here about how I started off in college? I was going to be like an art major, and I took all these drawing classes, and I had this big portfolio. I think I still have it. I just recently threw it away, or it's still in our basement, because it's been sitting down there ever since. I took it over to my mom's house and just left it there. But anyway, we would, like, draw our hand like that, you know? We actually there was this book that we read in that class. I had this hippy-dippy instructor that me and these other 2 girls that I was friends with, we absolutely fell in love. Here, I just want to show you this really quick, okay? I don't know if you can see it. Do you see that? How pretty the snow is? But me and these 2 girls, we had this, like, kind of hippy-dippy instructor. Her name was Suzanne. She was fantastic, and we loved her. And she wore patchouli, and she would burn incense in class, even though she wasn't supposed to. That was part of what we loved about her. And she had pictures up all over the place. I can't pronounce that guy's name, but you know, the guy, the Maharaj Mashog Yogi. Do you know who I'm talking about? I don't know who that guy is, but who all the celebrities followed in the 70s. She had pictures of him everywhere and stuff. Oh my God, I love this instructor. She was fantastic. I totally wanted to be her. My hippiness went from a scale of about a 3 to like a 10 after having met her. And we would go over to her house. She's another one whose house I went over to for tea, and she lived in the basement of this. It was called the Blue House. It was on Talbot Street. If anybody knows, you'll know what I'm talking about if you're from Indianapolis. And it was like an arts area, and that's where, like, the art school was, and it's called Heron Art School. But anyway, they moved recently. Now that's a high school, and the college is now on campus at IUPUI. But anyway, so she lived in the basement of this house, and she had these, like, blankets, like, hung up everywhere. Oh my God, I loved this woman. She was so fantastic. She was so compassionate and kind-hearted. I learned so much from her. We did this book in class called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. Drawing on the Left Side of the Brain? I don't know. But anyway, she was so fantastic. And I just was no good at it. I just wasn't. Like, I really struggled with it. I couldn't do my hand, or it was just bad. It was just so bad, and I struggled so hard. And I remember at the time, I was taking a screenwriting class, and oh, it was so funny because my friend and I, the one that I went to, like, you know, elementary school, junior high, and high school, and all of that, everything, we would like park together, and we would park way out, because like it was like called e-parking at IPUI, and you had this name tag, and then you could, it was like only like the farthest parking, and we would like walk in like the winter, and like literally, I'm talking about like a foot of snow and ice, right? And we'd be like walking in, and I was a puffer back then. I was a heavy smoker. A couple people said in my video yesterday, they're like, I didn't know you smoked. I've talked about that on here before. I don't smoke consistently, but yeah, I smoke from time to time. So anyway, sometimes more than others. But anyway, back then I smoked a lot. So, but we would be walking in, and we'd be slipping and sliding on the ice, and we'd be like running late to class, and I'd have like a cigarette in one hand, and I'd have like this portfolio in the other, and my friend would be laughing her ass off at me, because if you've ever taken an art class, you know what I'm talking about. This big, like, you know, fake leather portfolio thing, and I thought I was such an artist, right? And I go up in that class, and then she'd say today, and oh my God, I remember when we did like the nude drawings, we laughed so hard, me and those two girls, we were giggling so hard. That should have been, the ones that giggle at the nude, you know that you're done. You're not really an artist. And you know what's so funny is I ran into one of those girls like probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago at the Best Buy at Christmas time, and looked exactly the same. And I said, oh my God, how are you? I haven't seen you in like 20 years. And she's like, I know I haven't seen you either. And she's like, what's new? Like, well, how do you say, well, I got sober 20 years ago, you know? I mean, how do you say all that, right? But we were talking and stuff, and she was like, we were talking about that class, and it was like so funny how like we remembered like every detail of that class. Isn't that so funny? I wonder what happened to Suzanne. She was from Michigan, and then I think she moved to Santa Barbara. I bet somebody watching this vlog, oh, it's gonna stop, hold on. Somebody watching this vlog is like, oh my God, I had her too for an art class. I bet you anything. If you think you have this woman for an art class, direct message me. I know her last name, and I will tell you if it's the same person or not. Because I fell in love with this woman. She changed me in so many ways. She really did. She's like, you know when you meet those people and they really like change your perspective on life? She is somebody that really changed my perspective on life. I think she's also another person that taught me that people come in your lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and I think she came in my life for a reason. Not a season or a lifetime, you know? Anyway, I can't believe it's the middle of the week, can you? So excited to see my brother-in-law tomorrow. It's gonna be a fun week of hanging out and stuff with him. I'll get him up in the vlog. Maybe he and I will do a video together. Oh, that would be fun. If you guys have any suggestions for a video that my brother-in-law could do together, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe I could get him to do that while you guys are, or while he's here. Oh, that'd be fun. I need to do that. He and I have never done a video just the two of us together, so maybe I'll do that. Okay. If you guys have, listen, honestly, if you have made it this far, thank you so much. And if you have suggestions for any video ideas that Fufu and I could do together, would you leave it in the comment section below? Like, I really like that would mean a lot to me, because I would really love to do that with him. Excuse me, if I could get him to do that. Okay. So yeah, I think that's it. And I don't know how long I've been vlogging now. This has been kind of a fun vlog today. Anyway, peace and serenity to all of you. Wake up tomorrow morning, do a meditation, do some affirmations, all of that. And I've been doing the looking out the window thing. So, do that. Stay still for a few moments and see if it works for you. And I love you guys so much. I really do, and you mean the world to me. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.